Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Stephanie. How are you doing today? Today, we're going to go to the zoo. Well, pretend zoo. But it's a good time to go to the zoo now, too, because the animals are all starting to come out because spring's almost here. Don't tell anybody. Our first book is going to be called The View at the Zoo. Ooh, this is The View at the Zoo. Rise and shine, attention please, monkeys get down from those trees, said the zookeeper. Wake your cubs up, Mrs. Bear, Mr. Lion, comb that hair. Elephant, please wipe your nose. Pink flamingos on your toes. All giraffes, please stand up straight. That's more like it. You look great. All is ready. Come on in. Let the day of fun begin. Da-dun-da-da, dun-dun-dun-da-da. The opening day of the zoo. My, what silly things they do, all these creatures at the zoo. Look at all the things they do. Walking on all kinds of feet, dancing to an inner beat. These are my favorite. I love the penguins. I think it's because I walk like one. Babies riding on their backs, on their bellies, snug in sacks. Hear the silly sounds they speak as they howl and squawk and shriek. How they eat, they never stop. That one looks about to pop. Look at him eating. That's Mr. Hippo. Hippopotamus. See them prance and primp and preen, trying to stay neat and clean. They love it when people come to see them. Some of them are quite a fright. Watch your fingers, they may bite. Whoa. The alligators and the crocodiles. And snakes. I don't like snakes. Sun is setting in the sky. Everybody say goodbye. Please go home so we can sleep. Time for us to count our sheep. Whew, they're leaving. Off they go. They all put on a quiet show. Or they all put on quite a show. What a hoot. Folks have no clue that the view that we have at the zoo. So the animals are the one that are telling you what they're seeing when people come to the zoo. They think we're pretty funny. The end. I didn't think about that, but they are looking at us while we're looking at them. I have a hard time looking at the monkeys in the glass cases. That bothers me that they're all there, but they're all safe in the zoo and well taken care of, so we can't be afraid of that. My next story is Alvin and the Zookeeper. One day, when Alvin was out walking, he came to a zoo. I bet lots of animals are in there, he thought to himself. A zookeeper. Now there's something I wouldn't mind being, reflected Alvin. I like all kinds of animals, monkeys and elephants and lions and bears and giraffes. Well, I even like frogs. Well, at least I think I do. Just then a door opened right next to Alvin, and a man stuck his head out. He's here, shouted the man to someone inside. The new keeper's here. Then he said to Alvin, come in. Good to have you here at last, said the zoo manager. You can begin right away by feeding the animals. Do not let any of them out of the zoo. The animals are always talking about it. They'd like to get out if they could, but that is forbidden. Absolutely forbidden. The zoo manager gave Alvin a keeper's cap and a special badge to pin on his shirt. Feed the animals, but remember what I told you. Do not let them out of the zoo, said the manager. Alvin went to feed the bears first. We just love to go on little trips sometimes, said the bear, eagerly to Alvin. Oh, I couldn't help you there, he said. You gotta stay right here. When Alvin took food to the seals, look, Alvin, said the seals, there's one thing we'd like to do very much. We'd like to see a bit of the world. Can you help us? Alvin, whispered the monkeys, can't you arrange for us to go somewhere and have a little fun? Well, I don't know, said Alvin. The manager said it's not allowed. This is really tasty, said the giraffe when he was giving a twig of fresh green leaves. But do you know what we'd like more than anything else? We'd like to get out of here just for a single day. The penguins also gathered around Alvin and wanted to talk to him. You there, Alvin, please help us go on a holiday in the countryside. We'd like that. Now all the animals flocked around Alvin. Please, Alvin, they said, surely you can fix it so that we can take a trip to some nice little lake. We promise that we won't run away. Do you really promise, said Alvin. We promise, they all said as sincerely as they could. Surely they should be allowed a visit to the country just once, thought Alvin to himself. But I wonder what the manager would say. So one night when the moon shone brightly, Alvin led all the animals out of the zoo. Shh, he whispered. You must promise me two things. Keep very, very quiet and don't eat each other up. Eat the food in your picnic baskets instead. We promise, they all murmured. Whoosh, quiet. Walk quietly. No scuttling, no shuffling, no stamping. And you just see them all going do, 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 do. I think they're going to be quiet. What do you think? All night long, the animals walked and trotted into the countryside. Just as the morning sun came up, they arrived at a lovely lake beside a beautiful meadow. We'll stop here, said Alvin. You can swim in the lake and play in the meadow. The animals thought this was a splendid idea. What a glorious time they all had. They ate up all the good things they had in their baskets because they had become very hungry after that long walk in the moonlight. Then they played together all day, swinging and throwing balls, playing hide and seek, rushing down the slide and squirting and splashing water on each other. They had never had so much fun in their life and had never been on such a wonderful trip. But back at the zoo, the manager was pacing back and forth. He ran around and around and he discovered that the animals were gone. What on earth has happened to them? The rhinoceros is gone, he explained, and so is the giraffe and the elephant. Am I going crazy? The bears are gone too. All of them. And so are the monkeys and the moose and the camel and the tiger and the hippopotamus. I must be going out of my mind. Then the manager threw himself into a heap on the ground. Oh no, he said. When evening came, Alvin told the animals it was time to go back to the zoo. Be very quiet, whispered Alvin, so that nobody will hear us. Even the elephants tried to walk quietly. The next day, the animals were all back in their cages when the manager showed up. But, they were all gone yesterday, said the manager. I'm absolutely, definitely, positively certain they were gone yesterday. Well, maybe, said Alvin. You only dreamed the animals were gone. Today they're right here. You see them? I just must be going crazy, the manager said. But now I've got to get going, said Alvin quickly. It's hard work being a zookeeper, but great fun, too. You think Alvin will take them for another day out again, and they'll have to fool the manager again? That was pretty fun. And fun for the animals and fun for Alvin, too. He's a good zookeeper. Have you gone to the zoo this year yet? I think they're getting ready to do something new at the St. Louis Zoo. They're redoing something, but I can't remember what it is. I've forgotten what it was, but it's going to be nice there. It's always nice going to the zoo, except I don't like to go to the snake house or the reptile house. I don't like that. Besides the fact it smells in there. So, the last book we're going to read today is Never Play Music Right Next to the Zoo. Never play music right next to the zoo. I went to a concert when I was a lad, no older than many of you are. I sat with my sister, my mother, my dad at a band shell right next to the zoo. The soft summer air was so balmy and sweet, and the program was running so long that I found myself falling asleep, despite all the music and the song. Music relaxes me. Does it relax you? Mm-hmm. And all at once, the conductor erupted with rage. A band of wild animals were storming the stage. Oh no! Oh, children, remember, whatever you do, never play music right next to the zoo. They'll burst from their cages, each beach and each bird, desperate to play all the music they've heard. The lions and the elephants and the bears and the raccoons will steal away the trumpets, the flutes, and the bassoons. Oh, no. Replace the musicians and chase them away, then they'll sit in the band shell and play. I didn't know animals could play. Very interesting. The monkeys played the fiddle and the bison played the bass, and the percussions were managed by the camel who played. The yak played the sax until they're red in the face and a surprisingly musical mammal. I didn't know that about a yak. The bonobo played oboe. The ferret played the flute. The jackal attacked the bassoon. The hippo had chosen the tuba to toot by the flight of the silvery moon. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure I know what a bonobo is. It looks like some sort of monkey. I'm going to have to look that up. Do you look things up when you don't know what they are? It's great. The Sharon tigers played the trumpet. Mongolian goats in superabundance of bestial notes. Well, actually, the goats are eating the music. As the animal orchestra filled up the air until chaos and confusion and clatter, the audience kindly continued to stare if nothing at all was the matter. The audience was enjoying the animal music. But since by the minute I'd grown less afraid, I decided to sit back and watch while they played. Now everybody's having a good time. They finished and each put his instrument down, then bowed and descended into the stage. Each shed his tuxedo or even a gown and hurried back from home to their cage. Then each reminisced so grateful and glad, so full of commitment and pride. My mother, meanwhile, strolled away with my dad, but my sister remained by my side. She tugged in my sweater and spoke in my ear, "You better wake up or we're leaving you here." Oh, children, remember, whatever you do, never play music right next to the zoo. They'll burst from their cages and beast on each bird, desperate to play all the music they've heard. No, never play music right next to the zoo, and pay strict attention to rule number 2. Bear it in mind for the rest of your days. Don't fall asleep when an orchestra plays. So do you think the animals really came out of the zoo and played, or do you think maybe he was dreaming since he fell asleep? So, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the spring weather as it's still spring, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hi, boys and girls. I was so excited to be invited to talk with you today, and I'm excited to see my friend Hank. I wonder where he is. Hank, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm training for a 5K race, so I ran all the way here.
Wow, a 5K? That's impressive, Hank.
Well, I'm doing it to raise money for the endangered black rhino. The money will help keep them safe. Some of my zoo friends are also participating to help.
That is amazing. Tell me more about the endangered black rhino.
Well, the black rhino is a critically endangered animal. There are only around 5,000 left in Africa. They have been hurt by bad people who want their horns. The bad people are called poachers, and they want the rhino horns so they can sell them to make money. The black rhino lives close to my family in Africa, and it makes me sad and mad that they live in fear. My family lives near a herd of black rhinos, and they are really nice neighbors, and we don't want to see anything happen to them.
I didn't realize that they were endangered. How can I help?
Well, you can join me at the 5K run and raise money to help keep them safe.
Sure, I guess I can do that. I really need some new running shoes.
Okay, first thing you need to do is get folks to sponsor you. Then they donate money. And you can worry about getting new running shoes later, silly.
Okay, I'll ask my friends and family, and maybe some of the nice librarians that work here at the library can help us out.
Well, that's a good start. After you get sponsors, you will need to start running to get into shape.
I do need to do that. It's been a long, cold winter, and I haven't gotten outside enough.
Well, the weather is much nicer now, so what do you say we start our training routine today?
Sure, let me go get my new running shoes, and then I'll be ready to run.
Okay, I'll meet you at the doors downstairs, and we can start training. Ha! Hope you can keep up with me.
Well, boys and girls, we are off to practice for the 5K.
On your mark, get